Hi, my name is Lydia. I'm a hypnotherapist and emotion code practitioner. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. I'm truly happy you're here. I hope you'll enjoy this video and that it brings you peace, clarity, and marks the beginning of your own beautiful transformation. Before I tell you how I work and how you can return to your own power, I want to share my story. A story about how a strong little girl became a submissive woman, and what she had to do to return to herself. As a child, I was brave. I had a lot of strength within me, and I always stood up for what I believed in. But instead of appreciation, I often heard that I was argumentative, selfish, that I was too much. When I moved to England, my life completely changed. A new environment, full of criticism, lack of acceptance and judgment, and on top of that, stepping into adulthood, motherhood, a relationship. All of that hit me at once and brought me to my knees. Instead of being myself, I became submissive. I sacrificed myself, my needs and my dreams to gain acceptance and to be perfect. My father is an alcoholic, and I always told myself, I will never be with someone who has an addiction. And yet, my first real relationship was with a partner addicted to marijuana, and the next with a man addicted to games. I was running away from myself through cooking, cleaning, smoking, eating. I always managed on my own because I had a huge problem asking for help. Until finally, I realized that I was repeating a pattern, that the problem wasn't outside, the problem was within me, in my unhealed emotions and wounds, and that until I healed them, only the packaging of the man would change. And I made a decision. I'm coming back to myself. What was blocking me? Above all, the lack of self-acceptance and the inability to express my voice. The fear of taking responsibility. I couldn't ask for help because I feared being judged. I was also afraid of success. And that's why I'm standing here today, because I know what it's like to look strong on the outside while carrying fear on the inside. Fear of leaving a relationship that no longer serves you. Fear of taking risks. Fear of believing in yourself. I know what it's like to carry low self-worth and to be stuck on autopilot, escaping into habits. Many of you feel the same. I meet women who feel immense fear, who are afraid to take risks. Women who escape into responsibilities, just so they don't have to hear that inner voice reminding them that they are lost, but also that they are meant for something greater. I often hear from them, I don't know who I am beyond being a mother or a partner. I was there too, and I know it's possible to get out of it. That's why today my mission is to inspire women. I help them build self-confidence. I help them reclaim their voice, courage, and sense of self-worth. Because I know that when a woman returns to herself, she regains freedom, confidence, and joy, and not only her life changes, but also the lives of her children, family, and everyone around her. I also know that what holds us back is not the lack of money or time. In reality, what holds us back are our emotions and unconscious beliefs, lack of faith in ourselves, and that's exactly why I work with the subconscious and energy, using hypnotherapy and the emotion code. Now, I want to tell you how emotions truly affect our lives. Emotions are an inseparable part of our lives, but when we suppress them, push them aside, they don't disappear. They become stored in our body and in our subconscious. That's when symptoms begin to appear. Muscle tension, headaches, chronic fatigue, sleep difficulties, anxiety, feelings of overwhelm, and sometimes even psychosomatic illnesses, and obsessive, depressive thoughts. Imagine that our conscious mind is the driver of a car, and the subconscious is the engine. The driver thinks they're in control, but if the engine gets blocked, they won't get very far. The subconscious is the storage of all our experiences, emotions, and beliefs, including those from childhood. That's why we often react automatically, repeating the same patterns in relationships, at work, in our choices, not because we want to, but because that's how we've been programmed. What is emotional baggage? Imagine that since childhood you've been putting stones into a backpack. One stone is criticism, another is rejection, another is guilt, and year after year the backpack becomes heavier. We go through life carrying it on our backs, hunched, tired, with a sense that something isn't right. At some point, that weight feels so natural that we no longer even notice it, but in reality, we can take it off, and only then can we start walking lightly, freely, with our head held high. How the escape mechanism into habits works. Our body and mind are always looking for relief. When emotions become too heavy, when we don't know how to handle them, we escape. One woman escapes into food because eating brings a momentary sense of pleasure and safety. Another escapes into smoking, drinking, watching series, or scrolling through social media, all to silence the inner pain for a while. But it's a bit like covering a heavy backpack with a beautiful scarf instead of taking it off. The weight remains. We just forget about it for a moment. True relief only comes when we allow ourselves to put that backpack down, to release the emotions that are holding us back. Unprocessed emotions have a huge impact on our decisions and everyday life. Let me give you a few examples. Imagine a woman who goes to a job she hates every single day. She wakes up every morning with a heavy heart, and when a new opportunity appears, she thinks, "I can't do it. They're probably looking for someone better." She rejects the chance before she even tries. That's fear filtering her decisions. This woman probably grew up hearing that she needs to try harder, that others are better, or it's not for her. That might have planted in her the belief that she doesn't deserve success. Another woman dreams of going away for a weekend alone, to rest and recharge. But in her mind, there's only one thought. That would be selfish. I have to take care of everyone else first. So she stays home, exhausted and frustrated. That sense of guilt closes the door to her regeneration and happiness. If her mother or caregiver always put themselves last, she learned that this is what it means to be a good woman, a good mother, or a good partner. As a result, her subconscious stored the belief that her own needs don't matter, or even that they are threatening to her connection with loved ones. That's why guilt appears the moment she even thinks about resting. Another woman dreams of starting her own business, but in her head she keeps hearing, "I'm not good enough. Others can do it, but not me." So instead of trying, she stays where she is, not because she lacks potential, but because her subconscious keeps saying it's impossible. She didn't receive enough acknowledgement. If her achievements were minimized or treated as something obvious, she heard good, but you could have done better. She learned the belief, "I'm not enough." These examples show how powerful emotions can be, how strongly they can control our lives. But what happens when we begin to release them and change our subconscious beliefs? Transformation happens. And now imagine that same woman, but after releasing her emotions and reprogramming her subconscious. Instead of "I can't do it," she hears, "I can try." Everyone has the right to success, and so do I. Instead of "that's selfish," she thinks, "by taking care of myself, I also give more to others." And suddenly her decisions change. She starts to act differently, and life responds to her new energy. That's why it's so important that we take responsibility for our emotions. I'd like us now to do something simple, yet deeply meaningful. If you're in a safe and comfortable place, gently close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and imagine that you are standing with a backpack on your shoulders. You can feel its weight. In this backpack are your emotions and experiences, guilt, sadness, criticism. Now imagine that you slowly take this backpack off and place it beside you. Notice how your body feels without it. Lighter, freer, breathing more easily. What you're feeling right now is proof that emotional baggage can be released. Take another deep breath. Now think of one emotion or one belief that you feel has been holding you back. It could be a phrase you often say to yourself, "I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I can't leave." What words hold you back the most? What emotion do you sense? Fear, guilt, sadness? See it clearly in your mind. Place it in front of you. You can now slowly open your eyes. This exercise isn't meant to solve the problem right away. It's the first step, becoming aware of what you've been carrying in your backpack. Because only when we see it can we begin to let it go. And that's exactly what my work is about, helping you take that backpack off. I work with the subconscious mind and emotions in two ways: hypnotherapy and emotion code. Hypnotherapy, a process that takes place in a state of deep relaxation. You remain conscious, yet your mind becomes more open to positive change. Through hypnosis, we can reach the root of the problem, release fears, shift old habits, and reprogram the subconscious with new, empowering beliefs. The emotion code, a method developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. It focuses on identifying and releasing trapped emotions that may have been influencing the body and mind for years. Muscle testing is used to locate these emotions, and the release happens quickly and gently, without needing to relive painful memories. Both methods work with the subconscious and emotional release. They differ only in the path we take to reach the goal. Hypnotherapy works through deep relaxation and suggestion. The emotion code works through muscle testing and energetic clearing. Before we move on to a short session with positive suggestions, I'd like to invite you to a simple experience, a small test that will show how your mind responds to suggestions. Every person is receptive to suggestion, just in their own unique way, and that's completely natural. If you can, please stand up. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. And allow your body to relax. Now, stretch both of your hands out in front of you, palms facing upward. And simply allow your hands to respond on their own. You don't need to help them in any way. Now imagine that a light balloon is tied to your right hand. It begins to rise gently, and your hand starts to feel warmer and lighter, lighter and lighter, as if it could float upward on its own. And in your left hand, imagine that you're holding a heavy leather book. That hand feels heavier and heavier, slowly being pulled down by the weight. Take a moment to notice what's happening, the difference between both hands. You can now open your eyes and see how much your hands have moved. This simple exercise shows how powerfully our imagination and subconscious mind can influence the body. If your hand can respond to an imagined balloon or book, imagine how deeply your subconscious is influenced by emotions such as fear, guilt, or lack of self-confidence. This is the same power we use in hypnotherapy, the natural connection between mind, imagination, and body. Now, I'd like to invite you on a short journey inward, an experience of relaxation and positive suggestions. Sit comfortably, and in a moment, I'll ask you to choose a point slightly above your line of sight, a spot where your eyes can gently rest. take 3 deep breaths, and each time hold the air for a brief moment before exhaling slowly. And with the 3rd exhale, allow your eyelids to close softly, naturally, as you begin to drift into a calm and peaceful state within yourself. So let's begin. Find a point slightly above your line of sight. Focus your gaze there gently. Take your first deep breath in. And exhale. Take your second deep breath in. And exhale. And with every exhale, your eyes feel heavier, more relaxed, ready to softly close. Take your 3rd deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow your eyelids to close completely. Let your breathing become calm and natural. With each breath, feel how tension melts away from your body. Your shoulders grow heavy. Your breath becomes slow and steady. Your head feels light and clear. Imagine that with every breath you take, you're descending deeper and deeper into a state of peace. As if you were walking down a soft staircase, and with every step you feel more calm, more quiet, more safe. We'll now go 5 steps down together. First step, deep relaxation. Second step, even deeper relaxation. Third step, wonderful, soothing, deep relaxation. Next step, you're almost there. Next step, completely relaxed, calm, and at peace. And now, you can allow yourself to believe that you are enough, just as you are. That you have within you the strength to create the life you truly desire. That your worth is not defined by how much you do for others, but by who you are inside. With each day, you can trust yourself more and more. You can begin to lay down the burdens that are no longer yours to carry, and rediscover the lightness, courage, and joy of living. In a moment, I will count from 1 to 5. When I say 5, you can open your eyes, feeling calm, light, and filled with fresh energy. 1. Awareness of your body slowly returns. 2. Your breath becomes deeper. 3. Fresh, vibrant energy begins to flow through you. 4. A gentle smile appears on your face. 5. Open your eyes, return to the here and now, feeling peaceful, light, and strong. Thank you all for being here in this moment. I hope this topic sparked your interest. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. If you enjoyed this topic, subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content. And if you feel ready, I invite